Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Regular viewers will know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today we're taking a look at a camera I recently purchased. In fact, I purchased it just last week, which is the Sony a6600. And here it is. I've got fitted with it my 16 to 50, well, they may call it a pancake lens, it's a kit lens. I hardly ever use it, to be honest, although apparently it's meant to be quite a good lens, but it's not for me. I've got many other lenses, but I can't necessarily show you because they're actually fitted to me a6100s. Now, I went over to the Sony sort of APS-C range for two fundamental reasons, then a third reason on top. And the reason why I bought an a6600 is primarily because of the grip, the long life battery and the built-in image stabilization. Although in the previous video I did say I probably wouldn't buy the a6600 because I didn't need the image stabilization, and there's a link to the other video as to why I've gone over to the Sony APS-C cameras somewhere here. I'm not sure where YouTube put them, I can't remember now. Is it that side or that side? Anyway, I've gone over to the Sony APS-C cameras for two fundamental reasons. Unlimited recall time on the new ones, not on the older ones such as the a6300 and 6500, which I have here. This is the 6500. They all look very, very similar. In fact, the differences between the 6500 and the 6600 are very small. The grip is bigger on the 6600, but it's still got the two function buttons. They're very similar. They're very similar in style. But the 6600 has additional features that I'm really enjoying. I haven't bought it necessarily for in the studio producing my YouTube channel, because I've got my three a6100s and my ZV-1, which is filming the close-up shots of, you know, said camera, as it were. But when you're out and about taking photographs or even doing video clips, it is nice having that IBIS built into the body of a camera. And it's really nice because you can go down to lower shutter speeds. You don't have to worry about camera shake, blurred images and what have you. I will put a sample of the images taken with a 6600 up on my Flickr page. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. I'll also put a link to an Amazon link, which is an affiliate link, if you're interested in actually purchasing an a6600. I think they're great cameras. I actually got this one from Wex Photographic, actually. I didn't get it through Amazon. I got it through Wex because they had an open box one, which is is actually a new one, but it's open box, so I got it a bit cheaper. And I was well chuffed with that. The biggest differences, as any other YouTuber and any other reviews have said, between the 6600 and the previous top of the line 6500 is predominantly the battery. This takes the Z series battery, so it goes on forever and a day. So that's the Z series battery, a long life battery, as opposed to the FW50, which we all know, if you've used Sony cameras, we all know they don't last terribly long. They're not awesome. And that has got the FW50 battery inside there. And the other, they both got IBIS, so the image stabilization is pretty much the same for both of them. But the other big difference is that the 6600's autofocus is a much more modern algorithm. It's got animal eye detect, auto track following, face following, track following, whatever you want to call it, where the 6500 doesn't have that. And there's one or two other things. A flip screen with the 6500, it's got a tilty-wilty screen, which is completely fine. But on the 6600, you have a flip-up screen, which is, you know, designed for vlogging, I guess. It's also great in the studio here. I've got one of my 6100s with a flip-up screen, and that's getting a wide shot, and I can see fairly clearly that I'm in frame and it's looking nice. I can't on the close-up. I'm experimenting with, as this camera over my shoulder will hopefully see it, experimenting with a teleprompter. I'm not using the teleprompter per se for me to be able to read the scripts. I don't like reading scripts. I'm using it to be able to give me prompts as to, hence the reason I suppose they call it a teleprompter, prompts as to the specifications of the camera. But I've just noticed my tablet has died on me that's actually on the teleprompter, so that's something to look at. But I'm not even using it because I love doing it off the cuff. I'm not into reading scripts, but I do forget some of the specs sometimes, although I'm not really a heavy spec person when it comes to producing this content. But the 6600 is a great APS-C camera. Now, they haven't improved the sensor over the 6500 or really the 6300. It's still a 24 megapixel CMOS sensor. So the images are going to be very similar, but they are great images. And as I say, if you look at my Flickr page, you'll see that they are absolutely wonderful images. And the video that comes off the sensor is great because it's a downsampled 6K image down to 4K. So it's downsampled inside the camera, so you get really crisp 4K that comes off this camera, and I love it. And the other big difference between this and the 6500, no video record limit. So I can sit here and waffle on forever and a day. And that's why I went over to the 6100. So I didn't have that record limit. I didn't have that, I wouldn't say stress, but that thought in my mind, am I getting close to the 30-minute limit? And also I can run them off USB-C. Not USB-C, off a USB power block. It's actually mini USB. I'm running all these 4 cameras with the ZV-1 off USB blocks, so I'm not worried about the battery running out. Even with the ZV-1, I'm not worried that battery is going to run out on me. So that's basically the reasons why I bought the A6500. Great camera for going out and about with, for taking stills, because this grip is a lot nicer than the grip that's on the 6500. I find with the 6500 and even the 6100s, my knuckles rub against the side of the lens. You can't see that terribly clearly, but my knuckles do rub against the side of the lens on these other cameras. But I find on the 6600, because it's got a much deeper grip, they're not really rubbing. They do touch the lens, but they're not rubbing against the lens. It's actually very comfortable to use and go out and about with. So I do enjoy that. And it's nice and compact compared to my Nikon Z6. Well, it's mirrorless, but because it's full frame, it's quite a bit bigger. If it looks like I'm sweating buckets, that's because I am. It's bleeding hot. We're in the middle of the summer and it's 30 odd degrees outdoors and my studio's cooking. So there you go. No doubt if you're watching this in Australia, you're in the middle of your winter. But so there we go. That's the Sony a6600. It's the same. Only got one SD card slot in the bottom here. That is always disappointing, certainly for a flagship camera of this cost. Not a big deal to me. I predominantly do video, and I could always output it to an Atmos recorder if I needed that redundancy, that backup. But it would have been nice to have 2 card slots considering its price. But other than that, I mean, there isn't really, I can't find any downsides with it. I'm really enjoying it. And let's say the 4K video that comes off it is exactly the same as the A6100s. So I would say if you're interested in the Sony range and you definitely don't think you need the IBIS, I would actually very seriously look at the 6100. And if you have got the funds, put the money towards other lenses, because the 6100s I'm loving. And it's exactly the same autofocus system in the 6600 as you find in the 6100 and the 6400. So, you know, save yourself some money if you don't want the IBIS. And also you're not terribly concerned about the FW50 battery, because the 6100 takes the smaller battery, where this one takes a bigger battery. But I'm seriously impressed with the battery life on the 6600. I can't get it to die on me, and I've been using it for like 3 days non-stop, you know. So yeah, it's great. And also the Sonys work really well with their full frame lenses. I've got here the 28 to 70. This is their budget full frame lens. And that works absolutely beautiful on the 6600. Take into account an additional crop factor, because you would have to with a full frame lens on an APS-C body. But likewise, it works also great with the MC11 adapter, the Sigma MC11 adapter. I've got here the MC11 adapter. that adapts Sigma Canon EF lenses, not all the Sigma lenses, but most of them, onto the a6600, and it retains the eye autofocus, or all the other autofocus features. I've got here the Sigma 70-70, which works great with it. So yeah, there we go. That's my thoughts on the Sony a6600. If you do want to look at some of the technical specs and all the other techie stuff about it, then obviously there's plenty of information on the internet to find that. This is just an overview of what I think of the a6600. As I say, there will be a Flickr link in the description, so take a look at the images. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button if you like the content of this particular video. It does help me grow the channel, and I really, really appreciate that. So once again, thanks very much indeed. If you are a content creator and you use music in your video, it's well worth taking a look at Soundstripe, soundstripe.com. They have a great range of copyright-free music. It's a yearly subscription fee. Once you've paid your subscription, you can download as much music as you like. And if you use my code AVP, if you do decide to subscribe, then you'll get 10% off your annual subscription. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button for this particular video. Cheers. Bye.